So when it comes to three, there's going to be 3 shots. Smiles. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay.
Behind there. Go around there, guys.
Learn exactly what you have been since you start, since you was born, or since you was.
And they have clergy and business owners. And we have the tonight, they're also going to be here with us tomorrow, present together in chambers. And wanted to come out and observe the proceedings tonight. And I think in coming years, we will also have elected officials from throughout Africa that will be visiting at the church that will come to visit the council. So Dr. Watt, if you could share your topics regarding the valuation.
Thank you, Councilman Craig, Mr. President, other council members. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to present some of my guests to you. Our church, Faith Ministries Church, has sponsored an international mission ministry called the International Fellowship of Faith Ministries. And what we do 3 things: preach, teach, and heal. Preach, teach, and heal all around the world. Currently, we have chapters or partners in 30 countries around the world where we are doing just that. For 6 years, we have had a convocation where we invite pastors from around the world to come and we teach them biblical training, organizational training, and so forth. We've done that for 6 years. In fact, this is the 6th year. This year, we decided to do something different, and that is the week before our convocation to invite business leaders, elected officials from around the world, particularly Africa, to come and to have an institute on government and democracy, American style. As you may know, the Democratic Republic of Congo is a democracy, but as do all democracies, they have their unique challenges. So what we're trying to do is to have some influential people in these countries to come and have a dialogue with us as to how we do democracy here. Of course, you know our democracy is not perfect, but we can learn some things from each other. I have with me today some business leaders, some church leaders from Lubumbashi. It's the second largest city in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In fact, I was just there recently, and I spoke with their mayor, the head of the parliament of their province, and we're hoping in January to bring some of those elected officials because we want not just to change churches, but to change governments around the world. And this is going to be one way to do it. Tomorrow, because of the graciousness of Councilman Craig, we'll be here to talk about city government. The next day, Wednesday, we'll go to the House and talk with Representative Boyce about state government in the House. Then we'll talk with State Senator Charlene Tavares with the Senate. The governor has a person from his international trade meeting that will be talking with us on Wednesday. Thursday, we go to The Ohio State University. The professors are going to teach us. And then on Friday, we're flying to Washington, D.C. to meet with Congresswoman Joyce Bailey, and she's going to show us around D.C. So by the time they leave here in 5 days, they're going to see from the inside the way democracy works and be able to take that message back to their respective countries and be able to make a difference. I do just want, for the record, to call their names. Most of them do not speak English, so they literally cannot speak for themselves. We have Mrs. Nackey, she's a business person here. Pastor Solomon, who is the pastor of Mata Church. Pastor Solomon here. Attorney Terry, is Terry here? Terry is not here, okay. Albert is a deacon at Mata Church. Brother Benoit is also from Mata Church as well. And then we have Mr. Derek Ngongo, who's a very successful businessman in Lubumbashi as well. So I thank you for allowing us to come, and I plan to come back to you again the beginning of next year. We hope to be larger in size because it's very interesting. You would be surprised how we can now change governments, not just change a church or change a community, but we can put together means to change governments. And when you change governments, obviously, you change the world. Thank you so very much for your patience and for your help.
Thank you for coming down tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Thank you, President Jennifer. I will follow up with our staff after the meeting administration. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Vaughn.
Thank you, President Ginther. 177X 2013 recognized in the month of July as part
A child until to now is a very enormous. So we have to say thank you to the organization.
Well, God bless you and thank you. As a living maid. And, my grandmother kept me, my brother and sister and 2 cousins. And when she was able to bring us here, we were living around the coal mines of West Virginia. Yes. We were, where they made coal, or, they were digging out coal from the mines. And when my mother was able to bring us to this city, she worked for many years as a maid, cleaning houses. And largely because she wanted to make sure that she was home in the evenings. Because
Especially standing on the seats is very dangerous. I don't know why they do it, but they do.
Big concerts here. Tina Turner did her last.
We just had Justin Bieber.
Actually facilitates an exchange, where maybe we can come and visit you next.
Yes.
And bring a delegate to learn from you and some of the things that you're doing and that you care about. My name is Kevin Boyce, and as Dr. Wise just shared, I am a first-year state representative, so I'm what we call a freshman, brand new legislator. Everyone's English here. Everyone speaks English, right?
No, actually, they're translating
Okay, so I
side
need
by
to go
side.
slower here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm a first-year legislator. My seat in the House is actually right over there. It's where I sit. And we're actually in an adult quasi-security person get into an altercation, and the quasi-security person shoots him dead. And so there's a court and a judicial hearing, and the outcome was that the guy who
Is there a room comparable to this over in the Senate? Because I think I've been in this room before, but I didn't know it was the governor's. Yes, it
Je proviens de la République démocratique du Congo. Je suis pasteur associé.
He comes from the Republic of Congo. He's a pastor.
Very good. Thank you. Welcome.
Edwin Salomon from Congo. Yes.
She's from here.
Yes. My name is Naki, and I'm also from Congo. I'm a businesswoman.
Merci. Je réponds depuis la Lemo Albert. Je suis le directeur du département d'évangélisation dans notre église qui s'appelle Mission Apostolique des disciples d'Antioche, en cycle Nada.
He come also to the Republic Democratic of Congo. He's a assistant of Pastor Sarah.
University over here. Right here you see, this is the Columbus Museum of Art. This is a national museum that just got the Museum of the Year award for the best museum in the United States of America.
Wow.
It was given by the President of the United States, this award, our museum. So I don't know what your time is like, but if you get a chance, this will be a good place for you guys to see. Across over here where you see the AR, the big red, that's a Columbus School of Art and Design. And it's another famous school that kids from all over the country come here to go to craft their skills. If you look further over, there's a company called Abbott. They're a research laboratory that does very well. I don't know if you've heard of Nationwide, but Nationwide is another insurance company. We have lots of insurance companies here in Ohio. For whatever reason, we just have lots of them here. So it's a kind of a good space here that we have. So you guys can feel free to have a seat.
After somebody's phone stops. Just stop. Okay, now say the part about the largest part. That's big.
We've been blessed that today we have 8 offices throughout the United States and have grown to an architectural staff of 175, which makes us the largest African-American-owned architectural firm in the nation. We design about every building type imaginable.
Can you go back step by step because I began to tell this?
Just talking short phrases.
So you said you have 8
offices.
For the presiding officer of the Ohio House of Representatives, his title is the Speaker of the House, and his name is William Batchelder. He's from Medina, Ohio, which is in the northeastern part of the state. This office here, as I say, is the Speaker's office. There's a conference room over there and a workroom through those doors there. You'll see in the Senate, when you go over there later with Senator Tavares, the senators work out of the State House. And they have an office building attached to the State House on the east end. The House of Representatives actually works out of that big office tower across the street on the corner. So this particular office is what we would call a ceremonial office. The Speaker would use it only if he was over here during session. It's not a regular working office, but it's pretty nice nonetheless. Historically, this was once a law library, this entire clerk's office here. And several years after the State House opened in 1861.
Good morning.
How are you? Welcome to
Senate, as the pastor just shared with you. And we have 33 members in our chambers here in the Senate. The House has 99, and each House member, there are 3 House members in each Senate district. So Representative Kevin Boyce that you met, he is one of the members of my Senate district. He's one of the 3. We have, out of the 33 members, we have 23 Republicans and 10 Democrats. Our leader of the Senate is the President of the Senate, and certainly he's a Republican because they're the majority. The leader in the House Democratic Caucus, or the Senate Democratic Caucus, is Senator Eric Kearney, who happens to be an African-American gentleman out of Cincinnati. We have a lot of work that we've just completed.
One of the big initiatives was to kind of reformulate our strategy, try to increase our economic development program and rebuild it and accelerate its efforts. So part of his initiative when Governor Kasich came into office was to set up a new private entity within the state to also focus on economic development. And what that allows is it allows more flexibility, and
I have the right to have a firearm, a gun, concealed. Should they have the right to have a concealed carry firearm? So should they have the right, should Americans have the right to walk around with a gun strapped to their shoulder or to their waist or to their ankle? And I offer you the opportunity to vote. So you put yes or no. If you think that we should be able to carry guns around, everybody, every citizen, and just kind of walk around with it, you vote yes, you vote yes or no. Yes or no? Yes or no? You
push the button.
Either green, this is yes, this is
Yes,
no.
no, yeah.
So you push one. Push one. Same thing. Did you vote? Well voted?
My button is broken.
Your button didn't work?
Yeah. So whoever
Oh,
sits
good. It's good that that's broke.
Okay.
I'm kidding. His is broke.
Okay. It doesn't. It doesn't.
You can, there's one over there if you want to register.
Okay.
So we're voting on these people's names.
Yes,
I
you're
see.
voting on their names. And so we have 2 yeses. So he voted yes, and probably.
Yes, also.
Yes, so they voted yes.
They're on the right side.
And so, that's right, they are on the right side for that. And so, the bill did not pass because you had 4 people vote no and 2 people vote yes. And so the bill doesn't pass. But let's reverse it. Let's reverse it. Clear? Now I want the people who voted yes or voted no to vote yes, and the people who voted no, yes to vote no. So reverse your vote. So now the bill passes, okay? So once this bill passes, now we would send it over to the Senate chamber.
Salomon
Kalala. And he is a pastor from Lubumbashi.
Lubumbashi, la ville de Lubumbashi, République démocratique du Congo. Lubumbashi, c'est la deuxième ville après la capitale.
Yeah, and Lubumbashi is the second city of Congo in the east.
Moi, c'est Naki Nzambula. Je suis une femme d'affaires, je suis dans le commerce de l'export-export. Commerce général.
Naki Kangula?
Zangula.
Zangula.
All right,
Oh,
Ohio State Faculty Club.
Organization.
Education.
Je vous demande de c'est déjà compris. C'est comme un symbole là.
C'est là où on vient pour lire. Je suis abonné, je viens, je lis, puis je laisse les livres. Bon, on suit maintenant.
Si vous voulez voir, il y a des collections spéciales ici. Et pour le moment, vous allez voir quelque chose d'un peu familier ici. ça. Ok. Il y a rien à ça. Ils l'ont mis dans le contexte de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Alors tous les acteurs prenaient les personnages et l'habit de l'Afrique de l'Ouest pour jouer Julius Caesar. Ils ont joué ça à
Community colleges.
Wow.
Most Americans don't have bachelor's degree.
Wow.
I didn't know the stats were that low.
Me too.
It is. And I covered one.
William Oxley Thompson, President of the Ohio State University, 1899 to 1925, with statues outside of the library.
Okay, if we can just stand this way.
Okay.
Then we can get a quick picture. Hello. Can you come and take us a picture if you don't mind?
I will try to interpret as well as you are interpreting.
These two speak English better than anybody, so
Okay.
she's asking, do you have any questions, or do you want to tell her?
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm the Congresswoman's Chief of Staff, Kimberly Ross.
Okay. Kimberly Ross. So she's my top person, and she's a lawyer as well. So she keeps me out of trouble.
So someone, do you want to tell Congresswoman who you are and what you do? You can start.
Myself, my name is Nankin Boy, and I'm a businesswoman.
My name is Jerry Kungu. I'm from DRC, specially to Lubumbashi, second town of DRC. I'm a businessman. My name is Shabul Kamanga Beno. I'm pastor.
Okay, the chief pastor.
My name is Salomon Kalala, pastor.
And name this church the Mother Church. I preach at this church.
I said y'all heard him preach and sing. So they know you.
Oh yeah, I've been this church. I just was at this church in December in Lubumbashi, Congo.
My name is Ila Lemonbert. I'm from Congo, DRC. I'm an evangelist.
And his day job is finance. And a lot of these people here, though they're few in number and not able to speak English,
I think they're doing very well.
Have influence and good connections at home. They have such influences that when I went to visit them back in November, I went to the office of the President of Parliament, I went to the office of the mayor of the city, so they can open doors and have connections as well back home.
Well, one of the things we would be interested in is how we can be helpful here in the Congress if there are issues that we need to be educated on. Because like anything else, so often, and we could pick something as simple as nutrition for children and families or food, that should be simple. But most recently, we had a farm bill, a House bill, where the legislation goes into it. And who would have ever thought that someone would want to take $20.5 billion out of a bill that was providing nutrition? So it's always good to hear both sides. So if you looked at the bill at first take, you would think it would be great. So the same thing as we look at business issues, whether they're stateside or whether they're across the waters, it would be helpful to have that information or to hear both sides. As you come and go to America and look at building relationships, it would be important for us because we are interested in hearing what those relationships are and how
it is working as you build those relationships. For example, as we prepare for our trips, whether it's to Israel, whether it's to Morocco, whether it's to Jamaica, or to China, or to the Congo, there's a lot of preparation. And so often what we don't get is individuals who actually live there and know the culture. We get what I call wannabe people who looked at some pictures, read some books, and then you get into trouble. I was in Ghana with the two gentlemen you mentioned, one from Nigeria and one from Ghana, and they were not included in the original plan for us as we went to Otankwa, which is a very primitive area in Ghana, and I asked for an interpreter, someone to speak English, and they nodded, and that meant yes. I didn't ask the second question, how much English did they have? So he knew as much English as I knew their language. Like, good morning, and every time I asked him something, he said, good morning, ma'am. Yes, Madam Leader. And so then, I'm doing left, right, which way? Good morning. So I have learned that sometimes you have to ask that second question. Had I known, I would have practiced up a little bit in the district office. We had some individuals that came to see us from China, and at the last minute, an hour before the trip, they informed me that no one spoke English. I said, this is gonna be a long hour for me. And so they gave me a crash course, and I could read. So we actually got through the meeting and did okay. So you are far more advanced than most of my international meetings. I'm a granddaughter of a Baptist minister, so I grew up in the church. If you talk to one of our friends, Bishop Washington, I spoke this past Sunday at his church. And so they now call me an evangelist. So I brought the word, as we say here.
Did you have on a hat?
I don't go to church without a hat. I'm the granddaughter of a Baptist minister. And that's a cultural thing here. I have never entered a church on Sunday without a hat. Since the time I was 5 years old.
You were in our church. The last time you was in our church, you had a hat that was like this.
Yes.
You were sitting next to your husband.
Exactly.
I saw him, but I couldn't
didn't
see
know who
you
I was
because
under
of
the hat. It's a cultural thing here out of respect, but I've never, on a Sunday, now I've been to something maybe during the week, but on a Sunday I've never been in any church without a hat. From the business, what can I ask what their businesses are?
I'm doing because import exports.
In the product?
Yeah, I buy goods from China, Dubai, and I sell in my country.
Okay. Is it fabric? Is it clothes?
Yeah,
Is it,
clothes, shoes, things concerning women.
and the only reason I ask that, I own a store. I'm a small business person as well. And I have a store that has been open for 10 years. Down the street from my district office. On the corner of Rich and High.
And what is it called?
Pieces for Wear.
Okay.
We sell a piece of this, so we sell, this necklace came from there, we sell dresses, it switches, from time to time. In Ohio, where we were. So it's a small, medium-sized boutique.
And I do also sell things like but I sell also the cars, the used cars.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
And he also has a transportation business. It's like 30 taxis and it is central.
Okay.
So these are
And
primarily
the 3
business
pastors. Yesterday, because we believe that we share great leaders, and especially great leaders of color. And in honor and celebration of President Nelson Mandela's birthday, we had a huge ceremony here with some 800 people who came to celebrate, and people from all over the country were there. And all of our top leaders, from the Speaker of the House to our leader Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and Clyburn, our 3 Democratic leaders, our top 2 Republican leaders, came together in an incredible celebration of the life of Nelson Mandela. And the music and the spirit and the history was very moving. So we're just feeling our brothers and sisters across the water because of his great leadership that helped educate to bridge us. So that was another reason I was excited about the meeting, because I don't know a lot about your homeland and where you're from. And I don't think that's unusual for many of us as leaders. But if we're going to talk about brothers and sisters and relationship, I would like to at another time have a dialogue specific to some of our legislation. So at least I can say, I talked to business folks there, and here's their side.
That's very good. Now, is they're in session now?
We are in session now. We leave for our 2-day break. For many folks, it's a day and a half. Just walking over with one of my colleagues, she explained to me that she has a 4-hour flight, a 2-hour car ride to get to her district. And by the time she leaves this evening, she actually arrives home on Saturday. And in order to get back here on Monday, because we come back on Monday, she has to leave on Sunday. So it varies because people serve all over the 50 states. I'm very lucky, as you know, the flight here, it's an hour.
So are they voting on, well, they're not voting here?
We just cast our last vote, so when I got the message that you were here, I still had one more vote, and that was on an education bill, something that's very important. Unfortunately, I did not vote for it because contained in what should be a very good bill, there were many bad things for public school children. So children who are in school, dollars were taken away for Head Start, dollars were taken away for classes. So the good thing is it would have reading and math in the bill, but it didn't have music or art or physical education. And physical education for me is one of the most important things that we should have, because we have children who are obese. And as a result of that, we have more children with type 2 diabetes than ever before, and then they grow up. And for black men in my district, we have the highest mortality rate for black men in my district in the country. So in the country,
Say it again.
we have the highest mortality rate as a result of being diabetic.
Okay.
Being diabetic. We're being diabetic and dying as a direct cause of being diabetic. For black men, we have the highest mortality rate in Columbus, Ohio, in the United States.
We just heard we have the highest, one of the highest infant mortality rates
Exactly.
in the country.
And to me, when we look at health care, what President Obama is doing, we support that. There's some things we need to fix, but we support it because of what it does for women and children and families. And the same with the education bill. There were a lot of things that they took out of it that we don't think is effective for especially public schools, and also for our teachers and for our students. So it's not real simple that we just go in and everything is great. You always have to be like you all, right there up front, leading it as you are leading it for the people in your country. I am sure when you go back home, people will want to hear about this government experience here. And so one of the things you can tell them from Congress is as we set the tone and develop all of the legislation and the bills for the country, it starts and oftentimes ends with what we do here in Congress, that we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders for that. But what I can assure you is the 42 members of the Congressional Black Caucus, not only people of color, but white people also consider us the conscience of the caucus, because for us it is so important to stand up for people and to stand up for those who others might not stand up for. And so often, that's folks who look like most of us in this room. Now, with that said, for my district, I am very clear that I care about all people, because that's why I came here, to work and to work with everyone. Any questions? I talk a lot. I love my job. I love being in Washington. I love Columbus. I love people. I like shopping, so I want to come see some of those women items. I've never been to your homeland. I've been to Southwest and East Africa a number of times. That's about it.
Questions?
And if you say it in your language, they'll tell me what you say.
I asked him that when he have a question, he can tell me and I will interpret for us.
See, I understood that. Did you see how that worked?
But he said that's a question.
Okay. And can you ask them what's the number one thing that they liked best? Is this the first trip or second trip, or is this the first trip to United?
For me, it's my 5.
Third, 5. Wow.
For him, it's a difference.
Okay. So good. So for them, neophytes, you are the experts. So, what's the number one thing that they like best? It can be food, it can be travel, it can be anything.
Qu'est-ce que vous appréciez aux États-Unis? Qu'est-ce que vous avez beaucoup aimé aux États-Unis?
Is that French?
Yes.
I understood that. I didn't know French was the language. Oh, we can talk. Come on, speak French. I'm like, qu'est-ce que c'est? What is, you know? I like the French. I got this. Okay. On peut. Slowly.
Oui, la technologie est très élevée.
Okay.
Très élevée. Et ça fait que c'est pas, nous voyons même la grandeur.
Okay, we'll go grab it. I got that. Okay. I did. See what it said. I did. Yeah.
J'aime quelque chose, surtout encore ce que je vois en vous, une grandeur dans le leadership. On sent qu'on parle avec un leader.
Wait, I missed that last sentence. Say it again.
Nous sentons que nous parlons avec un leader parce que nous voyons en vous le sens véritable du leadership.
Likes the
leadership, like that.
To establishing a
Relationship with us.
He said great.
Great, big, ground that make big or great leaders. Okay. And for me, wait a minute, I'm a little slower. For me, is I got to. Yeah, this is rusty. This has been 40 years ago.
Pour moi, je trouve que c'est un pays qui est tellement développé. C'est vraiment grand pour moi. J'ai jamais vu.
It's too developed for you? Is that what you said?
It's too much and too big and developed for him. I went to public school.
Well, see,
and had 4 years of French. Okay. Je me rappelle. Give me a moment to tell you the story. I got the story that I'll tell about myself and who I am, so you already know that. So I'll have some departing words for you. This was exciting. You should have sent that in the notice. I'd have practiced up a little more. But I'm much better at listening
Yeah,
and interpreting or
understand, yeah.
reading, because if you don't speak it and put it back in to context, it's a lot more difficult. But I do very well with listening and understanding to the words, because you say them as my instructor said the words, and I butcher the language then, and let alone some 40 years later. But I love the language and love French. So, merci beaucoup.
Did you have any closing remarks?
No, only to thank you again for receiving us, and next time we come, we will probably fill this room with people.
And we will do a program, for you.
This
and
was
bring
just
other
an idea
members.
that came to me about 2 months before this, and the red tape and all of that just made it impossible for everybody to come. But we're gonna have more time, and we'll have more people.
And we will, we have members here who are just really experts with Congo, right? And work every day with your leaders and who are there. We went down to Karen Bass. Had she left already? Not there.
She was in the middle.
Okay. So we will do that. We will also look at members of leadership and the Congressional Black Caucus to.
They may come to our CBC week, because they all
Oh,
have
when is
international
that?
issues forums. It's
And-
beginning on September 17th.
So
But
if
we would
it's,
have to plan way ahead, because our next thinking is to do it in January.
okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
When we'll find out when the Congress is back in session in January.
That would be good, and that would give us more planning for,
Okay.
Congresswoman Fudge, who's from Ohio, who is our chair. Exactly, who is our chairwoman, and Mr. Clyburn, who is our top leader in all of the Congress on the Democratic side, and who is a black man, which is a very rare thing.
Third
Yeah, and the third top in our leadership side.
I did not introduce to you my brother.
And I knew that. No, I knew that.
She knows Raymond, so this is another brother than four of us.
I know
like
that
the
as
Chinese
well.
brothers. But he's here in Baltimore, and so he's been helping us get around and stuff.
Thank you. And Kim is from Baltimore.
There you go.
Yes.
Where are you from in Baltimore?
It's an area called Ashburton, Sequoia Avenue,
Where'd you go to school?
Western High School.
So did my wife.
Really?
Maybe 2 years before you, but she went there. I went to Loyola.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Loyola High School or college?
Yes, high school.
Okay.
Lynn Thompson.
See, it's a small
Small
world.
world.
And they may have been in high school, freshman, senior.
Not with my wife.
I graduated in 86.
86?
Uh-huh.
Well, I graduated from high school in 73.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think you was there. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
What?
But thank you so very
No,
much.
thank you all so much. So where do you go from here?
We go on the tour.
Okay.
We go on the tour.
Okay, great. You're gonna show them Frederick Douglass and Rosa Parks statue?
Oh, right. Nita, my sister went to Western. Well, where did Karen go? Both of them went to Western. Both of my sisters went to Western. Well, my wife went to Western when it was downtown.
Ah, okay.
The one, the big,
The big.
yeah.
And you know, I forget you at the older end with grown children that are desirous.
My daughter will be 40 her next birthday.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so she went to that one
Oh, wow.
before they moved,
Before they moved
merged.
out
and all
to
that
with
stuff.
college, yeah. It's still all girls.
Yes, it is, very good. To
One
their
of
credit.
3 public, all singing like high schools.
So you're gonna give them the tour, Ryan?
I'm not gonna do the tour, but I'll definitely point out Frederick Douglass and Rosa Parks.
Okay, so they're going on an official tour?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay, great.
Okay, if we can get some pictures, I think
Absolutely.
we can get out your way and we can go forward.
Okay.
More pictures,
Reverend Dr. Wise, I know, has been an experience within itself, being with him. He has been talking about you for months and excited about all of the wealth of experience and knowledge that you bring here to share with him. So hopefully we can live up to the good stuff that we do here and try to figure out partnerships that we can have and do. And I am not just saying this. Pastor, Reverend, Dr. Wise is a giant in our community for bringing people together, diverse people, and being ahead of some of the most creative advances for the least of us. So that's my opening. I didn't mean to start before you. So
it's your meeting.
Okay.
These are some of our friends. They're all from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Business persons, pastors, some combination of both, lawyers, stuff like that. There are a lot of stuff, each one of those. But we've been, as you know, all this week. We start off Monday in City Council. They recognize us as City Council. Then Herschel Craig talked to us on Tuesday in Council Chambers. Wednesday we went to the House of Representatives. Kevin Boyce received us and went across the halls. Shelley Tavares received us in the Senate. We went to the governor's office. He had somebody from Trade Development talk to us. Yesterday, we spent the whole day at Ohio State University.
I see the
They told them that, right?
Yeah.
So we got one too. So we went there, and Dr. Lee and Dr. Gunga, and
who is a very dear friend of mine.
Kalu,
Kalu.
And Dr. Martin. There's about 4 or 5 professors and directors that spoke with us, and then we're here today primarily to show them kind of inside American government.
Great.
And they will need, they may need a break to have somebody translate what's going on.
I was going to ask that as I started talking.
Essentially, they know what you said.
Okay. Well, Agunga and Kalu are 2 very good friends of mine. Prior to coming here, I was at Ohio State University, and we went to Ghana. And they were very instrumental in putting that trip together for us to go. We established 2 partnerships there with 2 universities as a result of that trip. So
we talked about something like that in Congo yesterday, and pretty much we just have to figure out what we want to do and get back to them whenever. So
we have a member of Congress, female member here, that is our expert and has a huge interest in Congo. Could you walk down to Karen Bass's office and just see if she's in, or use the phone and call and tell her what, if she could just stick her head in.
Okay.
And we have been very busy on the House floor, just a big fight for people of color, Black people, people who are poor and starving and uneducated. So there's 42 Black people who serve in Congress. And we fight every day for not only those of us who are Black, but for all people, and all people across the globe. So there are many issues that affect us, that affect you in Congo. So I'm interested in some partnerships from a business standpoint. There are some issues that are coming up that I've been asked to look into that affects the Congo, as in doing with minerals and items that I need to be educated from both sides on. So that may be something you want to.
we still have, we have.
He's died in Washington.
Killed. No. He got killed in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Ségrégation.
Epi.
You better be glad I'm your wife. I ain't gonna get
of Rosa Parks to be honored here. One of the early leaders of the civil rights movement, that Rosa Parks, her act of defiance, a rebuke.
Tuesday.
Murder their 1-year-old. All the way from birth till 1-year-old, murder is legal because it's really the same thought. It's only applying abortion or a woman's right to the 1-year-old. It's just applying woman's choice to the 1-year-old. That all important choice in your life is that you represent the life. Your wife considers the one. The worldview that those 2,000 females that were slaughtered today, that they weren't created equal with you. Those 2,000 males slaughtered in the womb today, they weren't created equal with you. That you're now superior to them. That your choice takes precedence over their